So there. Now before I put the new ones in, I'm going to compare, make sure I'm putting the right pads back in. Compare the new pad with the old pad. They're the same. Battery voltage is over 10 volts. Yes, execute pad change. All right, that's it. I'm ready to do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do brakes. Not on the X7, obviously clicking the video, the thumbnail. We're doing it on my 2024 Honda Civic Type R. And you're asking yourself, why are you doing brakes so soon on a Type R? I have just under probably 8,000 miles on the car, so it's nothing like it needs the brakes. But similar to what I did in my FK8, if you haven't seen that video, I did one similar to this. I'm trying to find a brake pad that doesn't have any brake dust. And I'm, and they're gonna say, well, you buy a performance car, that's sort of the byproduct, and I understand that. But same thing I did for my M3. When I'm on the street, I run a street pad. When I'm on the track, I run a track pad. Now, I don't have any plans to track the Type R, at least in the near future. But on the daily, it is my daily driver, so I don't like cleaning the wheels every other day. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. And my wheels are ceramic coated, and the ceramic coat really helps with minimizing the amount of dust that's accumulating on the wheels, and it does help with cleaning. I mean, I don't have to use any clean products. I could just rinse them off, and a lot of it just gets rinsed off. But it's still the process of having the dirty wheel. Now, there's only a few pads that I know that can do pretty well. Obviously, any ceramic pad can do is low dust, but I was looking for a pad that can give me that same OEM feel. What I mean is the initial bite. So when I touch the brake pedal, and that moment when the brake pads first start to grab the rotor, I want them to grab and feel like OEM. Like, sometimes you go to a ceramic pad has a tendency of feeling like there's not much feel, and you have to give it a little more effort. I've tried a few different ones. I've narrowed it down to a few choices. I like the Power Stop D26. They work pretty well. And the Akebono Pro ACT and the Akebono Euro if it's for the German cars. So I have the Akebono Euro for my M3 I've ran before, and also my Audi SQ5 2021. I have Akebono Euro as well, and I've been driving for a couple weeks, and brake dust is very minimal. So I'm going to the Pro ACT. I'm gonna put that on the Type R. All right. A few things you're gonna need for this project before we start: a hammer or a mallet, rubber mallet of some type. But we need to pop out those pins. The brake caliper has these metal pins that need to be sort of backed out. And I use this tool. I can link all this in the description. I have this tool for a while, so let me see if I can still find it. But this is a punch tool, metal. The size is perfect, just enough to knock out those metal pins. You'll need a way to retract the caliper for the rear, and I'll put an asterisk on that. Let's come back to that rear caliper. Front caliper, we need a caliper spreader. You can do it, depending on how soon you can do it by hand if you want to, but I recommend a caliper spreader. You want to lubricate those pins, so some grease. Torque wrench. And obviously the key to the car. You can't do it without the key. The brake pads, these are the ones I was telling you about. These are the Akebonos. I had to order these by the part number because for the 2024, it wasn't populating enough. And I'm pretty sure the 2024 and the 2021s are the exact same, because I did the same thing for my 2021. All right, now let's talk about the rear brake pad. The rear brake pad is an electronic parking brake. What that means is don't take a shortcut, follow somebody and they tell you that you don't need a tool to release the electronic parking brake. There's electronics in there that actuate that rear parking brake. It's not like your traditional cable system. Before, you might have to just use if If it was a cable, like for example my 2014 SI, you can use a special tool to retract the piston back through the caliper. But with these cars electronic, you need to find a way to disengage the motor so it can retract safely. If you don't do it, you risk damage. Not saying because your buddy's done it before, you've seen some guy on YouTube done it before and he did it fine with it, doesn't mean that you might have the same experience. I mean, these are expensive cars. You probably paid $40,000, $45,000 for these cars. These aren't like cheap cars. This is what I'm saying. So what I'm going to use my Autel scan tool. This is one of the few tools that I like, that I use. This one because it covers many different makes and models. Obviously, you see my garage. I have a lot of different cars. I don't like to have one tool specifically for one car. So this one is pretty pricey. I would say it's probably around you can find one of these in the $400 to $500 Autel launch, X tool, top down, whatever those things with the bi-directional controls. And they can pretty much handle the electronic parking brake service mode. I recommend one of these if you have a lot of different cars, you do your DIYer, but you have different makes and models. But like I said, the price anywhere from anywhere about $1,000 depending on capability, what you want. These are expensive tools. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy one of these things. You can use one of these. This is what I've been using for a little bit, but eventually I needed more. But this is a Foxwell. Does pretty much similar to what this does, but a fraction of the cost. So I'm leaving one of these in the description. This is a little bit older model. New ones are kind of like these, like a smaller version of the touchscreen. But as long as you can order it on Amazon, as long as it has the Honda package, you should be able to do what it needs to do as far as electronic parking brake service mode. And I've done it before with my FK8. I used the exact same tool, which this one could work just fine. Okay. This was $150. How much would it cost you to change your brakes if you go to a dealership? It's going to be a lot more than that. Even with the brakes itself, because you still got to buy the brakes. So this is a fraction of the cost, and this allows you to do a lot more. So worth the investment if you're gonna be a DIYer. If you're a person like me who changes your cars quite frequently, then maybe something like this. So like I said, do it the right way, folks. Don't cheap out. Don't try to take shortcuts. It doesn't save that much more time. I mean, this literally, once I put it in service mode, is a couple different functions, and then I'm in. I have the car in service mode in less than a couple minutes. To do this other shortcut, I'll make some risk and damage. Anyway, let's begin. All right, so cars are dirty. It's gonna sit outside, but I'm gonna show you the wheels on my SQ5. These wheels haven't cleaned these in a long time. Let's say 2 weeks of driving, and I've been driving, put a couple thousand miles on these, and barely any brake dust. Barely any brake dust. The wheels stay super clean. I hope they get the same experience with the Type R. These two cars are next. So my wife's X3, she doesn't drive very far. This is after a week of driving, and she only drives a few miles. A lot. Wheels are black, but they're like gray or brown looking. And the X7 is the same. I've been cleaning these wheels quite frequently too. So I'm actually doing the whole caliper swap on these. But let's go ahead and get to the video. I'm sure you didn't hear about everything else. Let's go ahead and move on. All right.
Black 2 for your safe driving. Parking mode on. Parking mode on. Powering down. X-band. K-band. K-A-band. Laser.
Let's see. Dash camera, did a video on that. I have the auto dimming rearview mirror. Did an install on that too with the HomeLink garage door opener. So check out those videos if you want to see that.
Black view for your safe driving. Starting normal recording.
And just see here. almost 8,000 miles. So a year later, almost 8,000 miles on this. For those who don't know, the jack points, I mean right here, you see where that metal reinforcement, you need to jack the car right in there. If you don't, you're gonna you're gonna have problems where the jack's gonna go through the floorboard. So that's what we're gonna do. Put the jack right there. I had a tool that actually protects that area more. Can't find it. It's a little pad. I can link it in the description regardless, but it works pretty well. But for a second time, I just need to go ahead and get this thing jacked up. It's not gonna hurt it, but it was just something that kind of protects it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack the car. If you, first time, you can break away these nuts, loosen them, just a quarter turn and loosen them, because once the car's up in the air, you're not gonna be able to do that. If you have an impact tool, great. It's all right. Just enough to get the wheel off the ground, barely. It's a 22 millimeter impact. This is it's got plastic on here, so at least it won't scratch the wheel when the wheel comes off. And it's 94 foot-pounds of torque when you put these on. So if you're using a torque wrench, torque them down no more than 94 foot-pounds. Push the wheel to the side. These pins, what I'm talking about, these need to be backed out. So what I'm gonna do, I usually just put a finger here, my index finger, use my punch tool, set it right there, and just go ahead and tap the back. This prevents me from knocking the paint off because you can chip the paint off if you hit the wrong place, and I don't want to do that. Okay. Just be careful. There's a brake line right in here. You don't want to damage that. Let's see what else I got in here. Yeah, so don't damage the brake line. Be careful with that. It's interesting to see. It's the first time I had the wheel off in this car, but you can see it's got some air ducts right here. It's like the air comes in through squirrel moment, but through the front and gets channeled, hits this wall, it helps cool the brakes. So it's still a pretty interesting design that they have going on. You're gonna push on this clip a little bit, this anti-rattle clip. It keeps tension on these pins to keep them from, let's show them tap it out a little bit more. It keeps them from, well, the rattle, the squeaks, and Keeps pressure on the brake pads. Since this car is pretty much new, everything's sort of tight on here. It's normal, be expected. And this clip just fell out. Okay, now get the pads out. And just before I start that, open your brake fluid reservoir. Just loosen it a little bit. Helps when you push those back in. Just remember to close it back when you're done. So I'm gonna do a little pull motion, a little push motion. Help get those pads so they can slide right out like this. Okay, fairly good looking pad already. So there. Now before I put the new ones in, I'm gonna compare, make sure I'm putting the right pads back in. You're gonna get two pads, one with the clip that lets you know when your wear sensor. The other one's gonna be plain. To make sure one pad gets because you get two of these and you get two blank ones. Make sure you don't put two blank ones on the side. So one gets the sensor, and the other one does not. Damn it, just broke it. Okay. Okay, just broke my. It's fine. Just use this. Just press against the. Actually, they went in pretty easy. You also have to play like a little musical chairs here with this, because one pops, one you retract, push one end, the other one pops out, opposite side, and this, or if you can, just push them in by hand. We'll get the new pads in. Compare the new pad with the old pad. They're the same. Okay, set that in there. This one's gonna get the sensor. I like to put the sensor on the outside just so I can see if I'm like visually looking at it from the outside of the car on the. All right, and that's pretty much it for there for that side. I'm gonna pop those pins back in. I'm gonna grease these up again, and then insert them back with the metal clip. You don't need a lot of grease here, folks. Just I'm thinking this is too much for one, so I'm just gonna spread it across the two. Piece goes this way. And to line the pad up just a little bit more. sure it tucks in like that. Okay. Do the second one. You have to bend. That's how you know it's a good clamp, because you have to really push this down to get that in there. All right. Next part is I need to tap these pins in. This is where I said be careful, don't hit the brake line on the side. And you just a little APC cleaner. Just a little APC. The wheel back on, and then we'll go ahead and work on the rear. What's wrong? Of course, this goes without saying, always start hand. Don't put power tool on these and strip these out. So turn them by hand first few threads, and then if you want to use the power, you can. Just be careful, don't over torque them. 94 foot-pounds is the limit. I'm just gonna go gentle with this. I let it down to barely touches the ground. The wheel or the tire touches the ground. Give me some traction here. Then I'll go ahead and do the rest. As we get to the rear, remember you're not going on the body work, so don't be trying to put jack on like something like this. It needs to be right there. All right, now at the moment everybody's been waiting for, I'm gonna use my Autel, get it powered on. I like this because it's wireless. Just plug it into the OBD2 port. And no matter what tool you need, you're gonna have to go into the OBD2 port. Okay, so that's plugged in. What I like about this, because I can take it outside the car. I'm gonna turn the ignition on. Just on, not start the engine or anything. So press 2 times. So don't push clutch in, just press it twice to get the gauge cluster up. All right, so I'm gonna hit service. Electronic parking brake. I'm gonna choose Honda. Actually, I don't have anything, so let's see, Honda. Automatic selection, let it just read the VIN automatically. All right, that's my VIN number. Press OK. Which version of this car is the USA version? Civic 2024. It's communicating. All right, now it's the system initializing. Just gonna ask you some questions. Now this, I feel like this is a little bit faster than my Fox wheel. All right, so now I was going to say hot functions. I think I'm going in here, hot functions. Could be diagnosis. Brake pad maintenance mode is what it's asking for. You can see that right there. Enter brake pad maintenance mode, press OK. Make sure you have your wheels chalked, so it wants me to release the parking brake. So I need to release the parking brake. Press the brake pedal. Okay. Oh, sorry, the parking brake's released. Battery voltage is over 10 volts. Yes, execute pad change. All right, that's it. I'm ready to do it. And let's do a regular thing. So I could actually turn this ignition off. You can see I got some, well, tire pressure monitoring lights probably on because I have the wheel off the car and away from the car. But all the brake lights, brake system, all these lights are on because I got the car maintenance mode. So I'm gonna turn it off and I'll come back to it. All right, so to do the rear, I need to pop off these dust covers for the bolts. And I want to say it's 10 millimeter. I use a little ratchet. All right, so here I need to pull off this piece. And then it looks like it's a 7 millimeter hex for the rear. I need the extension. Brake line is right in the way. Probably actually leave that on, I think. And then I'm gonna try to see if I can just pull this clamp off and just rotate it up that way. Might be my easiest way to do this. Okay, let's see if I can. Nope. Since it's not on very tight, I'm just gonna try this here. Just a regular hex. Let's see if I can get that in there. Nope. Okay. Just get a little muscle on it, and I think I had it in there. I mean, it's 7 millimeter, was the perfect size. I just hate to do anything here, but it worked out. Oh boy, hope it's not the twist type. I see these little notches in here. Let's see, I can try it anyway, see if I can make it work. Let's put the pad in here and we'll do our clamp. see if it goes back in the right way. If not, I'm going to go over it. AutoZone rents these specialized tools for this, so nothing else. I can just go to AutoZone if it doesn't retract properly. Yeah, it's going in. Perfect. Okay. And you should always use your old pads because you're going to end up damaging your new one. Yeah. All right, don't forget your dust covers. Okay, that's it for that. All right, so now I did the rear brakes. I completed the process. Now I'm gonna turn the car back on. Remember, press twice.
X-band. K-band. K-A-band.
Now I'm gonna enter normal mode.
Laser. GPS connected.
Press OK. I should hear the actuators engage again. Park brake is off. Vehicle stopped. Voltage is over 10.
You're safe driving. Starting normal recording.
It's finished. So that was it. Escape. Turn the switch off.
Parking mode on.
Just last minute thing to note. We're all wrapping up here. Is make sure when you put these pins that they come all the way through. I did take a little bit of more tapping on the other side. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Make sure if this feels like this is beyond your skill level, of course, this is something that you take at your own risk. I don't want someone that feels like, you know, it's a fairly simple process. If you've done brakes before, this car is no different. But if you're someone that's kind of like, you know what, not mechanically inclined, this is your braking system. If you don't feel like you should do it, don't do it. But you can see with just a few basic tools, 7mm hex, obviously the 22mm socket to take the wheels off, and then the other things I mentioned earlier, that's all you need. You can do this in less than probably an hour. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more. If you want to see the FK8 video, I'll put it right there in that box right there, so you can see the FK8. If you want to see my acceleration video, I'm gonna put it right here in this box. This is where I took the car when it was brand new. And then eventually I'm gonna put one here when it's broken in. Let's see what the 0-60 time is comparing. So if it's not here yet, that means I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna probably do it right after this video, shortly after. And we'll compare the break-in 0-60 time and of course the FK8 and see which one was faster. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like BMW content, subscribe if you like Civic Type R content, and see you in the next video.